My name is Laura Coleman from the Children's Therapy Centre. I'm also the co-founder of the Mayo Adult and Child Therapy Centre in Claremorris in County Mayo, where we specialise in working with children, adolescents and their families. Today I'm here to talk about anxiety and to maybe offer you a few skills and tools that I use to help people who have anxiety. Anxiety is a normal reaction to perceived danger, and we all would have experienced some degree of anxiety at some stage. It's that scared and nervous feeling that you tend to get in your body when you have to do something or go somewhere that you're not sure about. It can feel very different for different people, and our mind can race a bit. Our body often tenses up and we can get tummy aches. And so what we're going to learn to do is to normalise and to tolerate that discomfort and to react in different ways to the symptoms and the thoughts, to find new ways of coping with these symptoms, the physical symptoms and the thoughts. And to basically learn to manage uncertainty, because a lot of things are uncertain right now. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to find ways to handle the worry and to notice the triggers. Very important to notice what's triggering your anxiety and to notice the feelings that are being triggered. And then to help to shift thought patterns and to use skills and tools to do that, and to use as many creative things as we can to do that. Anxiety demands to be taken serious. So if we use skills and tools that are fun or creative based, it helps to reduce that intensity of the anxiety and helps us to move through the feelings. So it's not about avoiding the thoughts or the feelings or the sensations in their body. It's actually about understanding them and learning to manage them and work through them. So not about avoidance, about facing into it. So some of the tools that I use and work very well in my practice are, one of them actually is using beads. So I've accumulated a lot of beads over the years between old pieces of jewellery that have broken and buying beads, and I've collected them over the years. And what I do is I'd ask a client to select a bead to represent a skill or a tool that they've used to help to regulate themselves when they've been feeling anxious. So they could pick a bead, and this bead would represent one tool that they have managed to acquire that helps them to feel more relaxed. And over time they accumulate a load of beads, and then we just use some magic elastic to put them all together, and they make a little bracelet. And every bead on the bracelet would represent a skill or a tool that has helped them in the past. So it's a kind of a visual of all the tools that they have readily at hand. And it works really well for adults as well. Another little tool that I use regularly, I do a lot of group work for people who suffer from anxiety. And this is just a little affirmation box. And it's just little sheets of paper that I've written and printed affirmations on, and then just cut them up and curled them with scissors. So this one says, I am not alone. Other people feel this way too. Really important for people to know that they're not the only person who's suffering from anxiety. Oops, that nearly fell. Another thing that I've kind of used very much over the years is this. It's a pre-prepared calm down box. When you're feeling anxious and feeling overwhelmed, you don't have the thought process really often to be able to figure out what will I do next to help myself to regulate or help myself to manage these really uncomfortable sensations. So when you have a pre-prepared box, it helps. The boxes can be in any size. It's kind of like a small shoebox. Sometimes I use a bag this size, depending on what the person themselves wants to include in it. Small little tiny bag, even this size. So what we want to include are things that will trigger our senses. So any of our senses, any of the 5 senses, because anxiety tends to pull us into the future, whereas when we are engaging our senses, we stay in the present. So remember I said earlier that it's very important to notice our triggers, and some of these little tools that we have in here can help with that. There are these little cutout figures that are really handy for helping the person to identify where they feel their anxious sensations are. Is it in their thoughts, or is it in does their heart feel like it's going faster? Is their breathing more faster? And so to identify it and see it visually written down helps them to notice the triggers sooner. There's a little mask, and I use this often. What we'd do is we'd, on the inside, write the way the person feels really on the inside, but also the way on the outside, the way they present to the outside world. So it kind of gives them, again, a visual on how they are experiencing their anxiety internally, as opposed to how they're showing it on the outside. Just something to see, a picture of people who make me smile, people that I love dearly and make me smile. This is a lovely little thing. It's called a helping hand. And what I'd get the person to do is to write down the people that can help them to manage their anxiety. You know, it could be phoning their sister, it could be going for a walk with somebody. So people that can help them when they're feeling overwhelmed. Another little tool that's nice to have, just a pen and maybe a little notepad or a little card, and either write a little letter to themselves about how they're feeling in the moment, or to somebody else, to write a little letter to somebody else. Something that we can hear, just a little, just triggers that happy ideas. Puzzles keep us in the present, keep us very focused. They're just little tiny little puzzles that you can put together. Little stress ball, anything that'll grab your attention for now. Some colouring pencils and a little mandala colouring book. It's just a nice idea to have, and it keeps you very focused and helps you to relax. Something to taste, just tea bags. They're Pucker Relax tea bags, and they come individually packed, so they're easy to have in the box. Bubbles are very handy. A little hand cream, have a little bit of hand cream, just to give you that little physical sensation of minding yourself and self-care. A few Tic Tacs, so as you can engage the sense of taste, smell. It could be a candle or a little perfume. Anything at all. There's a little mini pack of cards. Anything that will keep you focused on the present and help you to let the feelings and sensations dissipate and move through. It makes you feel like you're in charge of it rather than it's controlling you. So I hope that some of these things would be of help and that you might be able to use them in some way. And for now, take care and stay safe.